see you got the GOAT name on the back.
What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we have an extremely special guest. I became aware of this man through the infamous OKP Message Boards. We used to be on there super heavy, but the thing is, I'm a serial lurker. I never made a single post on there, but I was lurking on the message boards every damn day. So he's a producer based out of ATL. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Jamison Scott in the building. Jamison, what's good, bro?
What's going on, man? What's up with y'all, man? Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely, man. Great. I'm happy that you could be here. So, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's get into it, man. Yes, so what was it like? What was it like growing up in the ATL?
All right, so I came up in the ATL. I'm a 80s baby. You know what I'm saying? My early childhood, I was on the east side. That's Decatur. You know what I mean? Where it's greater.
Decatur, where it's greater.
Where it's greater. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was cool, man. You know, a lot different than what it is now. Fulton County Stadium. We moved around a lot. You know what I mean? And just got in it was real. We just play outside a lot. Just like most towns in the South. You know what I'm saying? We right down the street from y'all. I actually have a cousin. Speaking of South Carolina, I got an uncle from Georgetown. So I used to go up there and visit him sometime in the summertime when he'd take us fishing. You know what I'm saying? I used to really enjoy that. I just thought South Carolina at that time as a kid was probably the hottest place I ever been in my life. Like, it was so humid, dog.
Yeah.
Man, it was humid. But yeah, Georgetown, it's an interesting place, man, because everybody know each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's real cool. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was straight. But as far as Atlanta, if I could just describe it, it was just, it's just kind of typical. You know what I'm saying? I grew up kind of, since I moved around a lot, I made a lot of friends, and we just made a lot of connections all around the city. So when I ended up playing football later on, we would play all over the city, and I'd run into all my homies I knew from all my other neighborhoods that I used to, be in and stuff like that.
Word.
That probably was a little long with an answer, but you know what I mean? But that's the way I could describe it. Yeah, word.
Man, that's, I never really spent a whole lot of time in Atlanta. I think I went there. Well, we went there for a little birthday weekend getaway with the family / Father's Day getaway. Went to Atlanta about 2 or 3 weekends ago. But prior to that, oh my gosh, I think the last time I was in Atlanta might have been 2013. I think because the Rangers had a weekend series with the Braves, and I went up there to catch them play. But yeah, oh my God, it's been so long since I've been to Atlanta.
Yeah, 13, man. Yeah, a lot of changes since then.
Dude.
Definitely a lot since I was a kid. Since from 13 when I was a kid, it's night and day, but I can only imagine now. So when you was growing up, y'all didn't go to South Carolina? I always assumed people from South Carolina just always came to Atlanta, like pretty regularly and stuff.
As far as my family, we didn't really do a whole lot of traveling. I think the farthest we would go, like if we went on vacation and stuff, we would like go down to Hilton Head. And that's Hilton Head. That's about a 2-hour drive from us. But as far as like really venturing out, we really didn't do that a whole lot.
Word, okay.
Yeah, I think we didn't. We didn't really go past North Charleston.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. You ain't missing nothing. You went to Hilton Head anyway, man. Y'all got water, man. You ain't gonna pass the beach to come to landlocked Atlanta anyway. So yeah, I get it, man.
But every now and then though, like when I was a real little kid, sometimes I was spending weekends with my grandparents on my mom's side in the summertime, and on Sundays, sometimes I would go to church with them, and then right after church, we would change clothes and we'd go to Atlanta on a Sunday and catch a Hawks game at the Omni.
Nice.
Yeah,
I do. Dirty old Omni.
Yeah, dude.
I used to always remember just being dirty all the time.
All the time.
That's all I remember, man.
And we would go there, catch a Sunday evening game, and come right back to Somerville, South Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Somerville, is that North South Carolina? Like, what part of South Carolina is that?
It's near Charleston as well. Somerville. I'm from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Somerville.
That's right, Moncks Corner. Word.
Yeah, Somerville is literally the next town over.
Tight.
So my mom's from Somerville. My pops is from Moncks Corner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get into this music thing. So first
Right.
of all, what's your first musical memory?
My first musical memory. Okay, so my early first musical memory would probably be my mom, my dad playing records in the living room. You know what I mean? Like most parents, you know what I mean. In
Mm-hmm.
the '80s, you get the the cabinet with the turntable on the top, and all the stuff on the bottom with the glass. You know what I'm saying? The glass door, and yeah, they'd be playing. I'm trying to think what they used to play. A lot of different things. Like they were really into. My mom loved Gino Vanelli, so it was a
Really?
lot of Gino Vanelli. Yeah, Gino Vanelli. Yep. You familiar with him?
No,
Oh,
not
cool.
familiar
Okay,
with
of
him.
course. Oh, well, okay, yeah, Gino Vanelli, man. Kind of like, if I had to describe it, dude, it's kind of like Blue Eye Soul. You
Okay.
know what I mean? You probably heard some of his songs. I would probably put it along the lines of like not Michael McDonald, but Michael McDonald like, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Italian, but he Italian. He could probably pass for light skin or one of the DeBarges, whichever one, depending on the day.
Got you.
But yeah, man, like a lot of Sade, a lot of Robert Trower. My dad really was into him. He's a rock artist. You know what I'm saying? A lot of soul music. A lot of Sade. As I'm sure you probably heard a lot of growing up too.
Yeah.
If I had to think of the top three, it'd probably be those three. And the B-52s for some reason. That's probably one of my
Wow.
earliest memories for some reason. Like the B-52s. I don't not in the Jets. Word the Jets and Prince and Michael Jackson. The usual. You know what I'm saying?
The Jets, man. Boy, listen.
Jets, yeah. The Jets, yeah, dog.
I had the
The
Christmas
Jets.
album.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
The Jets, man. Yeah, okay. So remember the Jets, man. They used to have some jams, man.
Yeah, they
Yeah, the
did.
Jets, dog. Yeah, man. But yeah, my parents, they were really big into like soul, a lot of Motown. I like most people, you know what I mean? But they like a lot of like jazz too. If I had to think about it, my earliest memories of music, honestly, were probably mostly jazz and like fusion jazz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I had to think of one genre that stuck out when I really look back on it, I didn't know what it was at the time, but looking back, that's what it really was.
Okay.
Like George Duke. George Duke was a,
Oh
was a,
yeah.
was a staple. George Duke and Miles Davis. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think. And a lot of George Benson, and a lot of yeah, that's about just stuff. Yeah, a lot of that, man.
Yeah,
Because my
George
dad was actually in a. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
said George Benson. That's my dad's wheelhouse right there.
Nice. Yeah, because your dad's a musician, yo.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, that's
Word.
all we played. Basically, it was a lot of gospel music and like a lot of George Benson, a lot of Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely Frankie Beverly for sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever heard of Frankie Beverly? The band that they had before Maze.
No, I haven't.
Ooh, man, it was cold blood. I cannot remember the name of it though. But if you get a chance, just go on YouTube. If you search Frankie Beverly,
Mm-hmm.
band, man, I cannot remember the name. It was one word. That's all I remember. But man, they got some heat. Yeah, they got some heat. They became Maze kind of after the fact, I guess, when they blew up and got a deal or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, they have some really, really, really dope stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to check them out. So as far as production goes, who were some of your early influences?
So my early influences, production wise, when I first started making beats, I'll probably say it was probably Jay Dilla, and well, no, I'm sorry, DJ Premier, um, Dr. Dre, DJ Paul and Juicy J. I'll probably say also Organized Noise, you know what I'm saying, and with the RZA, and you know what? I say Hitman Howie T. He don't get
Ooh,
mentioned. He don't get mentioned a lot, dog.
he doesn't.
But
He does not.
he was dope, man. Super dope. Some of the greatest hip hop songs ever.
Dude,
So I followed those guys before I really started making beats. But that made I was always wanted to, but until I actually started doing it, I really looked up at him and Marley Marl and DJ Premier the most. So, short answer, DJ Premier is probably the biggest out of all of them.
word.
Yeah.
Howie T, man. Man,
Yeah,
you right. People
so
don't
underrated, man.
people don't really bring him up, man. The work he did with Chubb
Mm-mm.
Rock and Special
Yeah,
Ed.
man.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes, dog. especially special ed, man. I remember one of the first tapes I ever had was Legal.
Yeah.
I had Legal, you know what I'm saying? I had like a little box or whatever. Yeah, I had Legal because I had my uncle's girlfriend at the time had a brother that was like coming to like stand with him for a little bit. Cause this is kind of a slightly crazy but short story. Her uncle, his brother-in-law basically was staying with him, but this fool was on a run for like I think like a robbery or something up in Pittsburgh. So he ended up
What?
getting locked up. He ended up getting locked up or something, but then somehow he left his box of tapes. He had this big old box of tapes under the guest room bed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had to stay with him for a time. So when we was staying with him, I was, me being a kid, kind of just looking around. I found this box of tapes and he had some heat, dog. He had like De La Soul is Dead. He had Special Ed Legal. I remember that. He had Above the Law, Above the Law, Untouchable. Yeah, is it Untouchable? Yeah, is that name? Yeah, Untouchable. He had an
Yeah.
Untouchable album, and he had Ice-T Original Gangster. Those are the ones I remember I used to listen to the most. Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Boy, he had some heat for real.
Dude, it was like a whole box. Like, man, it must have been like probably 50 tapes up in there, man. And I used to just spend the whole summer, like that summer. I just sit in there and just listen to the tapes all day on my walk, man. Just going, just listening to them, laying on the floor.
But that's some good lineage right there, man. So
yeah, man.
so when did you dip your toe into the producing world?
So it was probably, I was kind of a late starter, to be honest with you, dog. And late compared to other people, but I probably started around like, I say 2002. Around, well, I say 03. 03. No,
Nice. And
02. I'm sorry, 02, 2002, or 2002.
And at what moment did you realize that you might have something might have something special with this production thing?
You know what? So at the time, I used to be in a group. You know what I'm saying? I was out because I rapped first, and our group was called Asylum. So I actually started making beats out of like because we were paying for beats on our first project, and I remember thinking like, man, we could use that money to press up some vinyl or do whatever. So I was like, man, I always wanted to make beats. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I just go in. So I started making beats, and it probably wasn't until man, I think I remember the number. I think I was like 100, a little over 100 in it, 100 beats in. And I finally started letting my bandmates, as they say, and they were listening to it, and they were like, "Yo, this is kind of dope, man. Like, this is real dope." So I guess it was probably and then I guess when we started like letting people outside of our little circle here, and people was giving me a lot of good feedback. You know what I'm saying? I kind of roll with that.
Tight.
But, yeah.
So what's your recording process like?
So with me, I usually like, what I mean? I sit up in here, a lot of times things come to me like over the course of the day or whatever. So, I might have something on my mind or a sample or a sound or something. And I usually start with a sample a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And well, so it depends though, because sometimes I'll do the drums first, sometimes I'll do the sample first. It just depends what type of mood I'm in. But most of the time it starts for me messing around with a sample, you know what I'm saying, messing around with some hi-hats and just kind of build it on from there. Sometimes, a lot of times I'll be sitting up on the game, I'll be playing Madden or something or doing whatever, and I'll just be letting records play like when I'm playing it with my headphones on. Then something might come, something if I hear something, then I hop off and do that. You know what I mean? And this usually happens like late at night. So
Okay.
yeah. I hope that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
So your first project that you dropped, when tell me about that. What went into creating that project and then the response whenever you released it?
All right, so we went into that. It started out with a collection of I wasn't starting to make a project. So we used to have this thing in Atlanta called Stay Productive. And what it was like a producer cipher. So you would get cats come up there, and a lot of like people you probably heard of like used to fall through there sometime. Like Diamond D would come there a lot. Who else used to be in there? Super Dave West. He used to be in there a lot.
Okay.
Day West used to be involved. You know, a lot of cats, and then a lot of people like around the way. So anyway, Stay Productive used to be like every couple months, and I go up there and play like a beat set or whatever. And I started realizing like these beats I was playing were kind of making sense, sounding okay together. So I got with a couple of my homies, and you know, we kind of put, you know, curated, you know what I'm saying, curated it, and also the whole concept came because I had took a trip to Prague back in 2013, and I really fell in love with the country, with the city and the country as well. And you know, I just always said like, you know, I want to do a project with a you know, some kind of international thing, and Prague just kept jumping out to me. So you know what I'm saying, I kind of just kind of started putting stuff together. You know, that kind of seemed like the vibe matched the, you know, the imagery like what I was seeing over there.
Word. So what was
Yeah.
the response from your friends and stuff whenever you dropped the release?
Oh, it was real good. Like it was positive. Like I would say it was a lot more positive than I was expecting. You know, of course it wasn't, you know, it didn't go like platinum or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people was rocking with it. I was really impressed. Like, you know, I looked at the streaming numbers were good, and you know, then I started getting like hits in like countries I would never thought. Like apparently I get Shazammed a lot. The album gets Shazammed, like my number one Shazam is in Russia.
Really?
Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, that's ain't that random?
Wow.
Russia, dog. I'm like, yo,
Who'd
they
have
can rock with the kid in Russia.
who'd have thunk
Yeah,
it?
dog.
Who'd have thunk
Me, I wouldn't, dog. I would not think
it?
it, dog, at all, dog. Yeah, Russia, and I'm trying to think what other country stood out. That kind of stood out, and it was some hits in Africa. I was kind of surprised at. Yeah,
Wow.
Africa and Japan too. Yeah, Japan. But ironically, none in Prague. I got the album named 4 Nights in Prague. Ain't no hits in Prague. That's a damn shame. I like, damn, man. I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, man. But it was positive, dog. Really positive. I'm really was happy and proud of the response of it.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling when you get just like overwhelmingly positive feedback. When
Oh, for sure, man.
when you create this labor of love and you just release it out into the world and you see people are rocking with it, like you said, and that's a feeling that you can't beat.
Yeah, dog.
So
So
talk your most recent release. So what was the process in making that album? Was it similar to the one you made when you were inspired by Prague?
um, kind of sort of. So I when I made 4 Nights in Prague, I was on a different I was using Reason. I don't know if you're familiar with like production software, but
Mm-mm.
I was using Reason. Okay, so Reason is a, you know, a software that a lot of people use. I was using that mostly, but I got a machine, so I kind of started using the machine. I just was learning how to use it. So in making that album, I was doing a lot more experimentation, because machine is even while Reason is more of a, it is software, and machine is software as well, but it also has hardware. So with the hardware, I find I'm able to you know, experiment a little more. So with that I wanted to make something more like, without, not as sample heavy,
Mm-hmm.
but just more, a little more experimental. And compared to the first album, I'll say it is a little step in the to the left field a little bit. So people that really like the first album, probably I won't be surprised if they'd be like, I don't know about the second one, but you know, I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it got good feedback as well. So yeah, but
Word,
but
word.
as far as the process, it was really just to try to make something a little different and a little less sample based.
Gotcha.
That was really the goal for that album.
I like you stepping out of your comfort zone, man.
Yeah, man, because I was thinking like with Moby. I always thought of Moby. And now, you know, Moby was dope, you know what I'm saying? But Moby, he beasted because he, with that one album, I don't know what it's called, but he had this album he released and it flopped commercially. But every song on the album got licensed for like movies, and like you probably heard, I forget what song it is, but they literally use it on every dramatic movie, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when I made that album, now granted, you know, I don't know how it's gonna go like that, but I was that's what I kind of had in mind, dog. I was like, well, people who hear this and want to use some of this stuff for like film or TV or things like that. I try to create different vibes or different energy. So maybe to capture something like that, like a little bit more theatrical.
Yeah. Dig it. So we're gonna get into the sports segment now. So I see it kind of like me in the sense that the teams that you root for, they're all over the place. So Chicago Bears, Georgia Tech.
Yes, sir.
And who are the other teams? Bulls?
The Bulls, yep. And the Braves. Yeah, the Braves. Yeah.
So how'd you so I mean the Braves and Georgia Tech, that's pretty self-explanatory growing up in Atlanta, but tell the people how you became a fan of the Bulls and the Bears.
So my family's all from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I was always back and forth up there. That was probably the most consistent thing in my life, how my childhood was. But that's for another story for another day. But how I became a Bears fan. So I was 5 when the Bears won the Super Bowl, that '85 team. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my granddad and my Uncle Chucky would always be sitting up talking, having these real in-depth conversations about the Bears. And I was a little shorty. And I was like, man, what are they talking about? I was just being nosy. And I just wanted to be able to contribute to the conversation. So it's just between that and Walter Payton, it was pretty much it for me. Yeah. So they won that Super Bowl, and that was my team ever since. 5 to now. Yeah.
And how about the Chicago Bulls? I mean, it's probably self-explanatory at this point, but
it's funny because nobody in my family is really hardcore Bulls fans.
Really?
But yeah, it's crazy. Like they don't really watch basketball like that. If you ask them, they'll probably swear they do, but they probably couldn't tell you 3 players from any generation outside of Michael Jordan. But so I used to watch. My aunt used to have these watch parties back in when we was kids. Mm-hmm. So this is before Pippen, that little era before Pippen when we was getting beat down by the Celtics and losing to the Pistons every to playoffs.
Yeah,
we'll be over my aunt's house watching the games. You know what I'm saying, and rooting for the Bulls. So it just kind of stuck with that. You know what I mean? And then it don't hurt having Sir Goatness on your team.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So that was an easy sell for me. And I just kind of rolled with them ever since then.
Word. And now the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, that's a no-brainer. I mean, worst to first. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I was there for all that. I remember going to the games when I was young. My dad. I mean, it was a time when you could get tickets at Burger King. If you bought a Whopper combo, you get tickets to the Braves game.
For real?
And people still wasn't going.
Wow.
My dad used to get tickets for the game, and he'd be like trying to beg people to come, and nobody would come. It'd just be me, him, and a couple other people in the stands, man, watching the boys get smacked around. So, in 1991 came the worst the first year, man. That was a real special time, dog. Like I would say, if you of a certain age from Atlanta, there's a 99% chance, no matter who it is, can name you the whole starting lineup for that team. At least 8 of the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 9. Yeah, 8 of the 9. Yeah. Oh no, 7 of the 8. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, 7 of the 8. Bro.
I mean that video of Sid Bream around in third heading home with them wooden ass knees.
You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was burning, man. That man was chugging, boy. He ain't never ran that fast before or since. Man, he went from a 6'5" 40 to a 5 flat. He made it though.
He did.
He definitely made it, boy. I remember that, man. I'll never forget that. Yeah, anybody from the city, you already know, like wherever you went to Sid Slid, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can probably tell you exactly what they was doing.
So who's your favorite Braves player?
Dave Justice.
23. There
Dave
you go.
Justice. That's my dog, man. When I played baseball, I tried to model my stance, stack them, and everything, man.
Yep.
This is a funny picture of me. I must have been like 11, man. I played for the Cardinals, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I tried to model his batting stance. Yeah, that was my dog, man. It's probably, I say him and yeah, I think it's pretty much him. Him, Ron Gant. I really love Ron Gant. And I also liked Andrew Jones was up there too, man. He don't really get a lot of love when people talk about, GOAT Braves or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was a beast too, dog. But yeah. Andrew Jones, Dave Justice, the pitching, Steve Avery and Tom Glavine.
Steve
You know what I'm
Avery.
saying? Yeah, Steve Avery, man. Steve Avery. So that was before we got Greg Maddux.
Yep.
So because the first squad, it was like Steve Avery, Tom Glavine. I can't think of who the other, because it was before Smokes too.
Was Mark
Man, I
Wallace
can't remember that.
on there too?
Mark Wallace. There you go. Yeah, Mark Wallace. Yep. But it was somebody else. I swear, it was somebody else. I'm forgetting. But though that was it. That was it. Yep, that was it.
And
Yeah, man, Braves, man.
And the rambling wreck from Georgia Tech, a hell of an engineer.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir,
how'd you become a Georgia Tech fan?
So I always liked them growing up, you know what I mean? But I played football in high school, and a lot of guys I played with, went on to play ball and stuff in college. And my best friend, he actually ended up playing at Georgia Tech. He was a tailback there. He was there when your boy Joe Hamilton was there. Yeah, he was his quarterback for his freshman, I think it's freshman and sophomore year. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, old Joe, man. That was
Joe, man.
Best high school quarterback I ever seen.
Dude, he the best college quarterback I ever seen. So there you go. Yeah, that dude was sick, man. I swear to God, if he was 3 inches taller, he would have been the number 1 pick in the draft, dog.
Yeah.
Easy. Really, if he was probably an inch taller, he probably could have got up in there. Because he really was about 5'9". I ain't gonna lie. He probably was about 5'10".
Yeah, on his best day.
There you go. Yeah. But he was nasty, dog. I mean, that offense, man, oh my God. We should smack Georgia around then. I miss them days.
Yeah, them days are few and far between.
What, man? Very sickening, man.
All right, so now we're going to get into the 5-question segment. So the first and last question are the same question I ask every guest I have on here. And questions 2 through 4 are 100% random. So question number 1, what were the ideal items on Jamison's school lunch tray?
Oh, man. So, you know what I mean? Probably was that square pizza, that square pizza for sure. And you know what? I used to always like the chocolate milk until one day I looked up, man, and I ain't like milk no more. It just came out of nowhere.
For real?
Yeah, I used to like the ice cold chocolate milk and the carton.
Yeah.
But you know what made me get off of at least the ones at school? I mean, we had them the plastic bag joints that you had to stick the straw in. I used to hate them things. It was so nasty to me. That's what made me stop liking it. But it was the pizza, tater tots for sure, tater tots, and probably the fries, dog. That's some salty fries. I don't know what it was. They used to get them fries right. They didn't do nothing else. They got them fries right. At least in Cobb County. I can't speak for everybody else. So yeah, dog. Yep. But yeah, man, fries, and pizza, dog, and tater tots. Yeah.
3 the hard way. You can't go wrong with that.
Nah, dog.
Speaking of 3, question number 2. What are your 3 favorite rap albums of 2023 so far?
All right, I'm gonna say definitely Larry June, the Great Escape. The Great Escape. Man, I'm probably seeing like it's a theme here, but it's the Great Escape, Elephant Man's Bones, the Rock Marciano, and after that, did Tyler come out in 23? Was that last year? That was last year, wasn't it?
That was last year.
That was last year. Damn. Oh man, I'm trying to blank. Hold up. Man, this is something. And no, Mark Harmon was last year too, wasn't it?
Yep, sure was. Pray for Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was last year too.
Hard.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was hard, man. I'm trying to blank for the third one, man. I guess I just whatever you can think of, you know what I'm saying? I can't think of one, man. Let me see. I'm tripping, man. I'm drawing a blank.
I'll tell you what, while you doing that, I'll rattle off my 3 favorites so far. So
Yeah, what's
My
yours?
my favorite rap album in 2023 right now, I'd probably have to say is that Danny Brown JPEG Mafia album, The Scaring the Hoes.
Really?
Yeah, I love that
It's
album.
like that?
I like it because it doesn't sound like anything else that's
Oh,
really
okay.
in the market right now. It's like real, man, it's just real avant-garde, like kind of like dash of techno in there, just like real high BPMs and stuff. It's a mind trip.
Okay.
I love that album. That one and Summer Rooster by Elevator J. Are you
You know
familiar?
what? I've been seeing those. I'm familiar with him. I haven't listened to none of his music though.
I love it. It's just country rap tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like if I were to describe it, it was like if how would I describe it? It's like because his voice is like similar to Killer
Hmm.
Mike's,
Okay.
but he got a real got like a real prominent twang to his voice. But
Mm.
if let's say if Killer Mike was doing like music like Big Crit,
Mm.
but it's I love it. I love that album.
Well, you just sold that album. You just sold both of them. You just earned that bump like a motherfucker, boy.
Yeah, Summer Rooster is the name of the album. And
Yeah, I
then
just added the Danny Brown joint too.
yeah. And then
Yeah, that was dope.
see in the third one, yeah, Elephant Man's Bones for me too.
Yeah, man, that joint is so dope, man. Like when you first listen to it, it's dope. But when you really listen to what he's doing lyrically, I mean, I'm a Rock
Yeah.
Marciano stan, so
Me
you know,
too. Me
I'm
too.
ass, yeah, dog.
He
I
ain't
think
never
he never
leaving my
fell off.
top 5.
Nope, dog. I just said that to myself today. He's literally in my top 5, dog, all time.
Yeah, me too.
I can't. He is. He just is, dog.
Dog. Yeah. Don't even get me started. That man's fathered so many people's styles, man.
Dude, what? Half the industry, dude.
Yeah.
All that Griselda, it won't be no Griselda. Won't be
None.
no none of that would exist. It won't be no Stove God Cooks.
Mm-mm.
Like none of that, dog. None of that, man. Nobody does it better than him. Man, this
Nobody.
fool. I mean, you could probably have you could talk about quotes from him. I could quote him for like 2 days straight.
Oh, me
No
too.
problem.
Me too.
He's crazy, dog.
And just the imagery, the 40 lay you out
Yeah.
the 40 lay you out like a starfish.
Like a starfish, man. Come on, man.
I bust two.
It's just so.
I bust
Go
two
ahead.
shots. I bust 2 shots. Birds emerge from the rooftop. We surf from the soup pot.
Oh, oh
Cherry.
no! He was like, when he said he was like, when he said he was like, how to hop out a sprinter in the dead of the winter. He was like, we don't cook beef, we let it simmer.
Yeah.
My chicken real head spinner. But once we put lead in the once we started putting lead in the members of the clique, they stopped messing with us.
Yep.
That man crazy, dog.
Cherry drop top
Yeah.
lotus. I bury these cockroaches and leave your Rosclot top open. I had to
With
lift,
Rosclot top open.
had to lift the Glock with pot holders and put it where your pie hole is. Stop playing with this
He
man.
nasty, dog. You can't, man. Nobody mess with him. I don't care. I don't care. My man used to mess with me because I said when what was that? The Kendrick album Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I thought Rock Marciano album, I enjoy listening to that more.
Yeah,
I enjoy listening to Rosebud's Revenge more than I did Damn.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was going crazy, dog. On that what was that? The one joint, not even just that, on Behold a Pale Horse. That one song with Knowledge the Pirate.
Yeah.
Man, that song, that's one of my favorite verses from him, dog. He was painting pictures, dude. he was world building. Show me what he was saying on that joint, man. He was going crazy. Yeah, Rock Marciano for sure.
Yeah, question number 3. What movie character's death satisfied you the most?
Ooh, movie character? Oh man. Probably what was that? Oh, movie character. Huh. See, I keep thinking of a series characters, but movie characters. Oh man,
We could do series character too.
Okay, I probably will. Ramsey Bolton. I was pretty satisfied of that.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Ramsey Bolton.
That's a Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Nah, I never seen it.
Oh man. What about Sons of Anarchy? Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
I haven't seen that either.
You ain't missing nothing. I ain't gonna lie. But Jim and Taylor, that was a pretty satisfying one too.
Word.
Are you ever gonna watch it?
Probably not. I'm not much of a TV guy.
I feel you.
I'm kind of setting my ways as far as television goes. Like
yeah.
I come home, I throw on Pluto TV, I throw on Pluto TV, and I watch old Price is Right episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
I'm 43 going on 71.
Yeah, same here, dog. Don't feel too bad. I'm the same way, dog.
All right. Question number 4. Who was your favorite verse on Reservoir Dogs?
You know what? I'm gonna say Jay, man. Jay went crazy.
Yeah, he did.
I know everybody like to downplay, you know what I'm saying, but he went crazy on that song to me, dog.
Yeah,
him
right.
and Sheik was probably number 2 for me. Sheik went crazy too.
Sheik was my favorite verse.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all, dog. Yeah, yeah, he definitely went crazy, man.
Dude,
because I know everybody like to say Beans and you know what I'm saying, yeah, Beans and Jada Kiss, but hey, man, I'm sorry, it's Jay. Jay went crazy, dog. He just is what it is.
Word, and I respect everybody's answers because honestly, all of them went in.
They did.
All of them went in, but Sheik's verse is just my favorite. Because truthfully, I think Jada's the best out of the locks, but Sheik has always been my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I used to feel like that back in the day. I think before the second Locks album, that's how I used to feel.
Okay.
But after that second Locks album, I was like, damn, man, this man Jada Kiss he's kind of goating right now.
Yeah.
But when Styles had came out with Gangsta and the Gentleman, that actually jumped him up for me.
Okay.
I actually feel like Styles has more. He got just as many good albums as. Yeah, he has better. His best albums are probably just as good, if not better, than Jada Kiss' best albums. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
So, question number 5: what was the last thing that really made you laugh?
Oh man. Woo, man, what's the last thing I was cooking on? Probably See, I knew I had all this. I had a whole answer for this, and you asked me, and I was drawing it down. But I probably say when I was watching I think I was watching. Do you watch Succession?
Nah, I haven't seen that either.
Don't worry about it.
Nah, go ahead.
I think no, you know what I laughed at real hard? I was watching it's a bad movie from back in the day called The $6,000. Okay, so it got remade, it got renamed, it was called Super Soul Brother, but the original name of it was $6,000 Nigga. Came out back in the 70s. So it was a super, if I had to say B, this was probably a Z movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it had Wild Man Steve, if you ever heard of him.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, you know about Wild Man Steve.
Yeah.
So he starred in it. So that lets you know what type of time we are. And yeah, it was just it was a part in that was real terrible. And that's probably the hardest I laughed at.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that.
If you get a chance, look up clips from it. Oh, you ain't gonna find it on no streaming or nothing. Just go on YouTube.
Okay.
That's all I can say, man. Just go on YouTube. It's ridiculous, dog. Like boom mic in the shots.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? No acting, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen A-Bar? You ever heard of A-Bar?
Nah, never heard of that.
It's called A-Bar, Black Superman. It's along them lines. Just a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just super low budget. Look, you know, if it would came out today, it would have been on it would have been on I was about to say Tubi. No, it ain't Tubi. Is it Tubi?
Yeah.
All the chick movies be on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tubi. It would have been on Tubi. Word.
Oh, yeah. You had me at boom mic being in the shot.
Yeah, dog.
I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, I think they got the whole movie on YouTube. And they got a pretty funky soundtrack, believe it or not.
Word. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, $6,000 nigga.
I'm definitely checking that out. So
with a hard ER, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you want to plug and promote, the floor is yours.
Yeah, got 2 projects out. 4 Nights in Prague. The other one is called A Million Times Infinity. Both on all streaming platforms. Got a third one I'm working on. I'm probably about halfway through that one. And also got a lot of ironically, after I get off with you, I'm probably start working on this. I got commissioned to do a intro for a upcoming podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, tight,
Looking forward
tight,
to working on that.
tight.
Yeah. I think y'all gonna dig it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just trying to, I'll be around. I'm on Twitter, jscott777, and Instagram, Jamison Scott. Oh, sorry, Jamison_Scott. You know what I mean? So yeah, you catch me on those 2.
Word, man. Pleasure to have you on, man. I had a real good time chopping it up with you finally.
Oh yeah, that's nice, man. I know, man. It's a long time coming, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for having me on, dog.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. You made it happen, man. We're gonna have you back on too. So
please, yeah.
So thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe. Make sure you check out the video on YouTube. You follow me over there. It's at Danny Fox with 843. And for Jamison and myself, this has been another episode of Since We Last Spoken. Until next time, y'all be good. Peace.